My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Slay the Spire. There's been a patch, there's a new event, a note for yourself, and then the rest of them are quite minor. The Moorbank relic has been buffed from 5 to 10. That is gold per floor gained. That relic also breaks after you spend any money in a shop after attaining it. So, silent time. Ooh, hello now. Obtain a curse for a rare card. That's something I really dislike, actually, frankly. The obtain a curse negative and the lose 50% of your maximum HP negatives are just wildly worse than lose all of your gold, so you lose 99 gold, or lose 8 max HP or 7 max HP, or whichever it is. I think here I might actually just take the random rare card. There are a lot of garbage rare cards for this character, but kind of want to try and make some things work. I mean, there's also the possibility of going for 4 elites on this floor, with an early shot beforehand as well. Yeah, I'll go for that. Early shot before going for 4 elites. I mean, come on. Yeah. And that extra little bit of money hopefully is going to transition itself into allowing me to buy something worth my while. Hang on. Sorry, I was using the hotkeys again. That's my bad. The only reason I have the hotkey numbers up on the screen is so that I can easily keep a track of how many cards I have in my hand so that I don't overdraw. That was wrong. That should have just been triple defense there. 2 damage I need not have taken. Whew. Some pretty garbage draws here. Enemy would usually be dead by this point. Alright. Dagger spray, cloak and dagger prepared. See, I want to take cloak and dagger because cloak and dagger, in my opinion, is like a ridiculously strong card. But unfortunately, you do need AoE as the silent, especially if I'm going to be hunting a bunch of elites. I'm going to want the ability to kill the sentinels with the AoE though. But yes, the shop hopefully is going to give me something that I can define my run around. Or at the very least, one of the new relics. Beautiful Jawworm. And that's not going to be enough to dunk him out of existence, unfortunately. So I get to deal exactly 1 damage this turn. Hell yeah. Alright. See, Reflex has gotten a lot better recently because the hovering kite now exists. So discard synergies are more powerful. That said, tough bandages moved from uncommon to rare, so discard synergies also got a bit weaker, courtesy of that. I think I'll take my first copy of Backflip just because it's a super solid card to have. Again, it's an early value pick. I'm trying... Tincture. Not only is Tincture here and I can't afford it, but Tools of the Trade is here, so it would be good to have, I don't know, some sort of a reflex ability? I don't know. Just a hypothetical. I'll probably be taking the Blood Vial here at the start of each combat, heal for 2 HP, because healing is a thing that this character doesn't really have much of. I mean, Blood Vial, Bite... Ooh, remove another card from my deck. Hell yeah, don't mind if I... accomplish such a task. What do you think I was going to say? I'm probably going to remove another defend. Primarily for the fact that I'm terrified of getting to a gremlin knob here and drawing a bunch of hands that have nothing but defense. But yeah, it's not particularly easy to get healing in this class, so... where you find the opportunity to get it, oftentimes it's a good idea. Alright, and that'll do it. Bye-bye, slime. Laying it on thick, aren't you, video game? So there's Tactician, which would have been really good if I had taken previously Reflex and then Tools of the Trade in the store. See, you can't, well, not can't, but you shouldn't take Reflex speculatively because it does literally nothing unless you have discard synergy, whereas Tools of the Trade is still reasonable. It helps you tutor your hand. It's like, well, not tutor, but it helps you curate your hand a little bit. And then it allows you, on top of that, to also start working towards discard synergy. But then, again, Tactician can't be taken speculatively. So if I had redone this run from the start, I would have taken the Reflex. And the Tactician. And the Tools of the Trade, obviously. This is exactly the kind of hand I was trying to avoid, by the way. Okay. I will actually throw the Weakening Potion here. It's going to save me 3 HP this turn. It looks like it's probably going to be up for all 3 available turns. Yikes. I'm not full defending every single turn, by the way, because the enemy gets enraged every single time I play a skill. And at a certain point, I will be increasing the amount of damage the enemy does rather than decreasing it by defending myself. Juzu Bracelet and Terra. I'll take Terra just to help me against the Lagavulin. Okay. Second neutralize in the deck's not bad. I will give anything to get this Adrenaline. Damn. And Impatience there was if you have no attacks in hand, draw 2 cards. Really wish I could have gotten that instead of not that. Okay. This fight's still going to be pretty rough, unfortunately. Especially because the enemies have all this artifacting and both of my neutralizers are on the bottom of the deck. See, I'm actually incentivized not to weaken that sentry so that I can kill the frontline sentry this turn, preventing 2 days from going into my deck, but also preventing myself from, you know, not being able to kill that sentry with a bad draw in the turn after. I'll go for the full defense. Got Terra Dagger Spray. Yikes. Just yikes. That's like most of my damage cards just gone past, and here's my best defensive card just gone past. 2 defense cards this hand is not super unlikely. Alright, cool, we got it. Strike is guaranteed in the next hand. That's a kill. Whetstone, upon pickup, upgrade 2 random attacks. I will... yes, I'm actually going to take the Tools of the Trade here. I would be really happy if that upgraded Dagger Spray. I wasn't even going to ask for Neutralize to be upgraded, but I'm really pleased it was. Bag of Marbles at the start of each combat, apply 1 vulnerability to all enemies. Alright, we're getting a wee bit better against the elites now. I can't open this fight until I played Terror. I do want to open with Neutralize though, so do I open on this hand? I do. I do. Alright. We'll use the Survivor there. Probably like the only defense I'm going to play this entire time though. Okay, so what's the likelihood I get to kill the Lagavulin in the next 2 turns? If I defend here. I think I play the first one regardless, and then it has to be Dagger Spray. Cool. I probably could have double defended in retrospect. Bronze Scales at the start of each combat going 3 Thorns, and there's a Sucker Punch for applying weakness. We've got 2 neutralizers in the deck, so the Sucker Punch is actually slightly worse. I don't want to take a Dagger Throw as a value pick, but I do recognize the possibility that I just die for having made that decision. Okay, and then big defense. Easy. Definitely just all out in terms of damage here. So what's the best case scenario for me next space? Essence of Steel is really good. Riddle of the Halls is not, though. What's the best case scenario for me in terms of elite in this space? So my previous elite was Lagavulin. Because I have the Essence of Steel, Sentinels is actually probably the best case scenario. Here it is. Cool. So I'll be weakening you, neutralizing you, dropping that. Tools the trade, defend, and strike. I almost certainly should have played the Fear Potion on this sentry before I started attacking them. That's a pretty reasonable critique of my play there. So I have the theoretical possibility of killing that frontliner. It's use the vulnerability potion and then strike 3. No, that's 999. That's not enough. It's 27 total. Well. Actually, just gonna full defend this turn and pass it. We deal a little bit of damage here from the bronze scales, but we hopefully set ourselves up for this sentry. Okay, so am I going to be killing that this turn? This doubles to 8-8, so 16, then another 9. 16 9's not going to be enough. It's 25 total. So I do need this defend in hand, which means I'm discarding a dazed. That is going to make like later on plays are going to be a lot more dangerous for me now because I'm drawing into a deck that has more dazeds in it, courtesy of the fact that I keep discarding them. I can kill the frontliner with 2 strikes and a neutralize, and then a defend is enough. Beautiful. Courtesy of the plated armor in particular. Only reason that defend is enough. It was important to play the backflip there just so I could try and draw into... Yeah, this will do it. Just so that I can try and draw into any more dazeds and burn them out early. Tough bandages. Whenever you discard a card during your turn, gain 3 blocks. So we've seen Tincture, we've seen 2 copies of Tools of the Trade, we've seen 1 Tacticians, we've seen 1 Reflex, and now Tough Bandages. Immediately after I described the fact that it's now discard synergy is worse, effectively. Well, it's going to be another Dagger Spray here. We do need AoE still. One of the big problems we're about to face is that this boss is the worst one we could be fighting right now. Although our 2 neutralizers and the fact that we have a backflip in our deck should give us the ability to weaken the boss at almost all times. Think about it from the perspective, that means on alternate turns, the enemy is doing 6 damage while curled up, then 6 by 2 while curled up. So, 12. It's just multi-attack. And then the turn after is doing 3 by 4. This is if they're weakened the entire time. 3 by 4, so they're doing the 12 that turn. So I don't really hit those breakpoints of defense often, unfortunately. Thankfully, Tools of the Trade is effectively just going to be 3 block a turn for us. I'm a little terrified that I should rest here. And, in fact, will. I'm not going to rest in the next one, though. Good lord, game. Guess I'm glad I rested there. Jeez. Cheese and crackers, y'all. Strength Potion, gain 2 strength, as well as set up Bane and Finisher. I'm going to increment that. Neutralize as part of my defensive strategy. I'm also going to use the Strength Potion in this fight because... Gosh help me, I really think I'm going to need it. Okay, weakened for the next 3. So there was the 6 attack, and then here's 6 by 2. I would love to play Dagger Spray, but I actually do believe there's a reasonable possibility that I die in this fight if I keep taking damage. So here at this point, Survivor by itself almost protects us. Damn it. I should have calculated that out first. I missed out on 12 damage there by not striking before I transitioned the enemy. Good. Another 12 incoming. And we'll transition the enemy again. Beautiful. All right. Didn't perfect the fight, but that's okay. My main concern is whether or not I get Tactician here. I don't. After Image and Venom and Phantasmal Killer. After Image is just like, you know, between 4 and 6 block a turn, depending. We have a lot of zero cost cards, and we have a couple that upgrade to zero cost, including both Terra and the Tools to Trade. I think between the Tough Bandages and having discard synergy, After Image, and the fact that we have pretty powerful Weaken in the deck already, I think we'll be able to defend without really putting defense in our deck, which is a goal consummately to be wished. I think here it's going to be Philosopher's Stone for me. Now, this can definitely come back and bite me. Consider the birds combat at the start of the next floor. But they are multi-attacking, and we actually have a benefit against multi-attackers in terms of our bronze scales. We have reasonable defense, but on top of that, we have Weaken, which will help us negate a little bit of the extra strength that we've given to them. We're definitely getting extra strength no matter what. Extra energy no matter what. Not being able to smith at rest sites is just, it's killer. It's absolutely killer. It's really unfortunate that this is showing up right now. And Ectoplasm not being able to have gold. I think I would actually take Ectoplasm here if it wasn't for the fact that there are new colorless cards and new relics. And not having money is a great way to not be able to take any of those. It's also worth noting that the birds are also a little less terrifying because we have 2 copies of Neutralize in the deck. So we oftentimes will be able to put them on a floor. There's a 4 elite path here as well. It's almost certainly going to kill me to oh my god. It's almost certainly going to kill me to take it, but I kind of gotta. Get me Dagger Spray. Oh. Told you it could be a lot worse. It's not the card I was trying to play there, but it is fine. It's enough block either way. One of the backline's already dead as soon as it attacks me, and I've just put these down to health values where Dagger Spray will kill him. An upgraded Piercing Wail is probably a good idea here to, again, still help offset the negative of the Philosopher's Stone. 85 for a relic, sure. Regal Pillow, heal an additional 15 HP when you rest. Yeah, thanks for that. Jax is actually quite powerful in this deck. We've got, you know, a couple of multi-attacks, but we've got a couple of free attacks as well. We don't really have a way defined in this deck yet to deal damage. Now, if Jax upgraded to be lose 2 HP, gain 3 strength, I would feel a lot better about it, because then we have the Blood Vial to at the very least give us back the same amount. I still have all of my bites in the deck. This is definitely worth, in fact. We're going to lose the Blood Vial in order to take all of these bites. Losing 30% of our max HP could entirely result in, not you, but the champion or next floor, especially the awakened one after its second form, just instantly killing us with a single hit. Yeah, this is my gold. Y'all can't have it. Piercing Wail is going to be really good, just not yet, unfortunately. Was that our upgraded Dagger Spray? It was. Okay. So we need Jax. Well, we found Jax. 1, 2. And we're fully defended. So this is definitely now an aggressive deck. It's like an aggressive deck with a very small amount of discard synergy. Yeah. Red Mask actually really helps with aggression. Weaken everyone on the first turn is going to make it much easier for us to open fights safely. As well as a Poison Potion, Deflect, Finisher, and Prepared. We don't actually play that many attacks in a single turn. Is that strictly true? It's not. I'm wrong. Okay, we'll take a Finisher. It's worth checking, though. We definitely have to play After Image and Survivor and probably even Essence of Steel in this fight. We're only going to lose one of the plated armor charges here, which is, you know, not great, but better than losing more than that. And now we're going to lose 2 more. Damn. Really wish I could have thrown that Neutralize on the front line. Unfortunately, that wasn't really in the cards. Do I want to split my damage? Yeah, I've got Backflip in my next hand, as well as Dagger Spray. In the rest of the deck, 2 copies of, in fact. So I think it's reasonable here to split the damage. 1, 2... And in fact, I'm not going to kill you this turn. I'm going to wait until my next bite to do it. Get as much HP back there as possible. War Paint, upon pickup, upgrade 2 random skills. Backflip and Terror, I actually kind of want the most. Jax I would be happy with. Any of the defends, I'd be pretty sad about. Survivor is like a middle of the line for me. Do I take Infinite Blades in this deck? That's... So, it's innate, it costs 1 energy, and it's in your opening hand. That's what innate means. Never mind, right? It's innate, it costs an energy, but it doesn't have an immediate effect at all. And its effect going on from turn to turn is quite small. Huh. I'm a poet, and I wasn't even aware of the fact that I am one of those. The Jax does make it a little bit better, so does After Image, and so does the Finisher, but are those our most powerful turns? I think they're actually some of our least powerful things. I think the fact that we can just stand against the opponents and hit them with the Dagger Sprays. Although the Dagger Sprays and the Bites are going to phase out over the course of the game in terms of their value. Alright, I think I will take the Infinite Blades here. I'm not going to be super happy about it. Terror and Survivor, eh. Remove a card from my deck, sure. Almost certainly just going to be a straight up defend. Elite Number, the second one. Actually, also going to throw my War Paint in here. War Paint, sorry. I said War Paint because I was looking at it at the wrong time. Potion. Also pull up some intangibility this turn. Yeah, it's pretty reasonable defense. Come on and bites. Easy. Tori, whenever you would receive 5 or less unblocked attack damage reduced to 1. This is actually especially good in a deck that already has some weakness application, because you can get enemies that usually wouldn't be below that limit to below that limit. However, it's also anti-synergistic with the Philosopher's Stone for the exact opposite reason. I don't want to make this an Infinite Blades deck, but I haven't taken Infinite Blades much, at least, in a very long time. Stone Calendar. This is one of the new relics. It's rare. At the end of turn 13, deal 40 damage to all enemies. Now, I've seen a comparison about this on the subreddit. That being, of course, reddit.com/r/ Slay the Spire. How did I forget that for a second? But in particular, people were trying to theorize how powerful this is. And the thing that most people came up with is, number one, it only really has any value in a defensive deck. If you're at the end of turn 13, most of the time, you've either won or died. But other than that, Mercury Hourglass is an uncommon relic which does 3 damage at the start of every single turn. So 13 turns in, and it triggers at the start of those turns rather than at the end, so there's even a benefit. It's done 39 damage. Whereas this does all of it front-loaded at the same time on turn 13. So what, in what circumstance would this be better than a Mercury Hourglass? If the enemy is generating a small amount of block every single turn, or if an enemy has just summoned a bunch of minions on turn 13. That's about it. Other than that, it's really weak. Strawberry for 7 max HP. And we are taking out so many elites. I'm real pleased about it all. Take exactly 1 damage this turn. Don't mind. Whee! Alright, if I can kill that slaver in the backline before I take the damage here, I would be real pleased about it. 4, 7, 4, 4, 7, 4 for 8. It's 15. 4. Yeah, I can't kill you. So instead, it's super important that I try and weaken the other two who are going to be dealing a ridiculous amount of damage. Mm-hmm. Ouchies. Thank you. Exactly the kind of card I'm looking for. And yes, you get smacked if you're looking. Yeah, just 1 bites. Yeah, cool. Molten Egg. Whenever you add an attack card to your deck, it is upgraded. Couldn't have gotten that before the old bites, eh? Hey. Heel Hook is actually probably surprisingly powerful in this deck. Consider the fact that we've got the 2 neutralizers, which, you know, lay it on quite thick. But more powerfully than that, we've got the red mask. So even if we get the Heel Hook before any of our neutralizers, a lot of the time it'll still be active. Take a Heel Hook, especially because it pre-upgrades. If it didn't pre-upgrade, I don't know if I would have made that same mistake. That's a Freudian slip. You know what a Freudian slip is, right? It's when you say one thing, but you mean your mother. I mean another. Ooh, Heel Hook in the first hand. Thank you, Patricia, for sharing that one, by the way. Good joke. I like it a lot. All right. I mean, I don't really need to care about any ordering considerations here. Except for play finisher last. I'm going to use the Piercing Whale here. I'm going to drop the After Image. And, okay, never mind. I'll just fight twice. Lantern, gain energy on the first turn of each combat. That's actually, again, really, really good with this character because this character has the Ring of the Snake, so they have 2 additional cards in their opening hand. Dex Potion, as well as upgraded Backflip. Upgraded Backflip. Just a wee bit more defense in the deck. Not too much, just a little bit more. Now, there was actually significant order in consideration there. You want to try and get through all of the armor without dealing that much without playing too many of your attacks. Because the ideal thing is to deal a lot of unblocked attack damage instances to this enemy in order to remove their plated armor. Yeah, I have 1 0-cost card in the deck left. Don't need it. Piercing Whale and... Damn it! Every time I get an enemy to a point where I could just ignore them for a while and be fine. Every time I get them to that point, I have enough bites in hand to kill them instead of farm them for a while, unfortunately. It's pretty important that I get After Image in my opening hands. I've got these two infinite blades. I need to be able to benefit from them correctly. Leave the Piercing Wail in the deck, it only gets better. What? That's just decremented from 1 to 0? I thought this did not persist between battles. I would be more than glad to be wrong. That's surprisingly often my position. Because I typically take stances that are... It just went up to 1. Is it going to go back down to 0 now? But yeah, I often take positions that are counter to my own interests. Because then if I'm wrong, the good thing happened and I'm happy. Or if I was right, then I was right and I'm happy. Nifty little trick. Awesome. Ooh, baby. This is another reason the heal looks quite powerful in this deck, because we have a finisher, which we should remind ourselves to use exclusively as a finisher. Can't believe I actually considered passing the finisher up. Woo! That would have been wild. Would have caught hands for that, I'll tell you what. Wraithform versus Burst versus Storm of Steel. How many powers do we want to multiply play? Powers, sorry, I mean skills. Not that many, so it's not Burst. Wraithform does give us a couple turns of safety. And we get most of our decks from... most of our defense from After Image now. Like, we do have 2 backflips in the deck. I think it's Wraithform. I think we're an aggressive enough deck to use Wraithform super effectively. Not a huge fan of the fact that we've got no energy relics here, though. Especially considering I just picked up something that costs 3. Alright. So I'll be using an empty cage here to... just remove those 2 defends. That could actually be a problem, that final boss. We'll see. So I can see a maximum of 3 elites in a path. Yeah. Okay. Can I guarantee an early shop if I want to go to elites? No, but there's a late one on pretty much every available path. Cool. Cool, cool. This is totally fine as far as setup turns go. Especially because I have the dagger sprays, I definitely just want to spread out my damage. When I say spread out my damage, though, you also have to consider the block that's going to be gained on each of these next turn, which is why I didn't hit the Starkling in the front line at all. Actually, probably should have discarded Piercing Wail. It's not useful yet. I'm actually going to play out the Piercing Wail here. And the entire reason for that is I don't want to draw it next hand. Oh, never mind. I've actually already got lethal. Cool. But because I was expecting to kill the turn after anyway. Speed potion as well as flying knee, outmaneuver, and well laid. No, thank you. Okay, we did get an early shot. All right. Don't make it an accuracy deck. I don't want to make it an accuracy deck. I could easily, though. So, I get 2 shivs a turn. So accuracy, especially after being upgraded, would be 10 extra damage a turn distributed. If I have it in my opening hand, it would amplify the Ninja Scroll. I'm definitely going to be taking the Ninja Scroll here. What I think I want to do, though, is go Ninja Scroll Backstab Finisher, which is 110, 235, so it's 363. So I just have enough to take that. And the primary reason for that is this is a second finisher in our deck. We'd have the Ninja Scroll gives us 3 shivs in our opening hand. The Backstab stays in our opening hand. We have the enemies vulnerable due to the Bag of Marbles concurrent to our opening hand. If we get any of our finishes in our opening hand, we are going to dunk things out of existence immediately. 222 gold back. I do need to upgrade that finisher. It'd look a lot like that. Very similar, at least. Okay, we'll kill the ones that are defending first. And here I'm not actually going to be splitting damage. One down. Yeah, that's enough to kill you in the back line. 2 down. And then basically I just need to somehow guarantee a kill against this Darkling. I mean... maybe. Only just. Cool. Gambler's Brew, discard any number of cards and then draw that money. We'll do that with the Dex Potion. The Speed Potion, like the Dex Potion is gonna wane very quickly, courtesy of our Wraith form. So the Speed Potion is basically kind of like an oh crap moment, right? Cool. Wrong ordering there, naturally. It won't make a difference, mind, but that doesn't make it correct. Wraith form. Buy myself 3 free turns here. Whee! Potion Belt. Upon pickup, gain 2 potion slots, as well as... Do I need the extra energy? Consider the fact that if I get Tactician in my opening hand, I'm really sad about it. Even though I have a little bit of discard synergy in this deck, tools of the trade, it's very quickly fallen by the wayside. Now, I recognize that Riddle with Holes is here, and it's deal 4 damage 5 times, and with upgraded Jacks, it's deal 7 damage 5 times for a total of 35 for 2 energy. But a lot of the strength of our deck is being able to play multiple attacks, rather, so that I can get benefits from After Image, so that I can get benefits from Finisher, so that I can get benefits from my other Finisher, right? So I don't even think Riddle with Holes fits. If I had Necronomicon, I'd definitely take it. Okay. It's not unreasonable that we kill in the opening. Never mind. There is a wee bit of a difficulty here in that I do need to stop my deck from being trashed. Alright, I'll kill one of these orbs. I'll put the other in Terra. And split my damage on the back line. Not a huge fan of the fact that I've got all those days in my deck right now, but hey, not too much I could do about that. Well, there's the Wraith form, which actually kind of entirely invalidates a lot of stuff here. Really? Oh, right. Wraith form costs energy. I gotta be real with y'all. I did not think that Wraith form cost 3 at that point. I played it and I immediately was like, how did I lose all my HP? Sorry, energy. I actually don't need to kill the exploder here, by the way. Because I'm intangible, so it's not going to do anything to me. Well, it will deal 1 damage. Oh no. Alright. Sneaky Strike is interesting here. Because I am guaranteed at a certain point to be discarding a card every single turn. It's just... is a conditional 0... consider it 0 energy, right? Because it doesn't actually have a differentiating effect. Like, if I could cheat Sneaky to cost 0, it would be a refund of energy. Or if I could play it twice, it would be a refund of energy. But in this deck, consider the fact that Sneaky Strike is just a 0 cost 14 damage. Is the 0 cost 14 damage something that I include in my deck? You'll note that every single other card that I've included has a secondary value. I could probably make a reasonable argument for Predator here. Primarily based around the fact that extra card draw for the turn after is pretty specifically powerful, especially considering we have combo pieces like the finishers. Take Predator. Definitely got to smith that other finisher. Hey, Pen Nib, every 10th attack you play deals double damage. Double damage on those finishers. A would be good. A very nice, good and fun. A Alright, I should plan my energy expenditure this turn. Heal Hook costs 0. Predator costs 2. Bite costs 1. Finisher costs 1. So that's our 5, right? No, that's 4. So I guess I'm not playing Infinite Blades? I'm okay with that. So we want to play all of our smallest attacks first. And then gradually increase the damage per attack. Cool. I mean, that's 300 damage on turn 1. So if that's not good, I don't know what is, frankly. What, it isn't good? Oh, okay. News to me. Smallest increasing. Unfortunately, we are weakened this turn, so can't get the full effect I was hoping for. A lot of the value for our Pen Nib is now tied up in the fact that we get 2 free attacks every single turn. Runic Dodecahedron, if your HP is full, gain energy at the start of each turn. Hell yeah! Fine. I'm mainly just going to be using it to remove artifacting, but fine. What's the worst case scenario? Oh, that it chunks up my early hand and then I don't manage to get the combo off that I need in the early turns in order to do the damage that we need? Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty bad. Being able to guarantee a power card in our opening hand, I mean... Fine. Fine. Okay? Fine. Let's go in Venom, let's go. Clap, clap. Let's go in Venom, let's go. Clap, clap. I do need to remove another card from this deck, though. I don't want to get the bite out of that, frankly. Tools of the Trade is actually... No, it's not. It's 3 block every single turn. I'm actually looking at this backflip right now. Yup. See, after a certain amount of time, it's going to be a 1 cost draw a card, effectively. Because it will give me no block because of the... It'll give me no block because of the Wraith form. But it also only draws 1 card in excess of its own cost, right? Because it costs you a card to play it itself, right? I say right like I'm asking a question, but I'm not asking a question. I can't chunk up my early hand, so I have to take the madness instead. Okay. Not a huge fan of what just went on there. Nice heel hook. That'll do for the moment. Come on, and where are these finishes, eh? Well, at least we are now fine from here until Kingdom Come. The big problem right now is we're no longer on max HP. Gambling chip at the start of each combat, discard as many cards as you'd like and then draw that many. That's actually going to be ridiculous for us. I still don't want accuracy. Take a reflex, though. Do I heal as I go into a boss fight? I do not. Okay, I actually have to rest here in order to get back on max HP. Which is extraordinarily sad. I feel like these are the only two that I can throw without feeling horrible about myself. I am here blatantly accepting the fact that I'm not going to have the Runic Dodecahedron active for the rest of the fight, but trying to set myself up for the kill on the back line. Alright, so I'll be using Gambler's Brew here, definitely. Get combo pieces at least, please. Well, there's our Wraith form. I do recognize that if I threw everything in the opening hand, I would be able to get enough block from the discards and the tough bandages in order to protect myself against the Deca. But at the same rate, have you considered that my opening hand is one of the strongest hands that I will ever play in this fight? Kind of need to maintain that. We've specifically curated everything so that our opening hand is our most powerful hand. So if we give that up, well, we're in bad shape, bud. We'll drop the backflip. It's going to be fine. There you go. Easy finisher. I've got another turn of intangibility here, and then the enemy's not even attacking the turn after. Got madness. And that'll do us. I mean, we only took that damage on the first turn. It's pretty good. We didn't really line up our pen nibs a lot of the time, but it's also a little bit more restrictive because we want to play the finisher last. I don't want to just use a shiv and then a finisher so that I'm doubling the finisher and then go back to using shivs. 980 with the silence. So we actually did see a new relic here in the stone calendar. and we saw a new card, but we couldn't take it. In patience? Non-violence? Can't remember it for the life of me, but for the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourself, so the playlist in the description down below for all of your content. Yes. All of the content that you've made on this game, linked in the description down below. I may accidentally do a typo and put mine there instead. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.